Fell Burgundiaris, or Moses Cleveland's Canterbury Tales, Book 4. What gifter of dreams and knowledge to glean, what plenty to harvest tonight. Appearance and vision, a torso apparition, who hovered o'er smoky campsite. What motive had she who hove like a queen, who bore regal despite having no feet? Suspended in ether, dark tendrils of nether, skirt tattered with billowing pleats. Burst from a gate, was xiphoid in shape, pentagonal like a diamond in effigy. Dark light abound, she smiled and then frowned, consumed nearly by empathic lethargy. Waves of dry weariness, fatigue upon dreariness, an ache to the bone from within. But brief exposure to loss of composure, what pain rendered stone, age has been. Momentary fright for brief flash of light, as she reconjured her cheery demeanor. That radiance within but pure pain had been, which generated what subtle a dweamer. What noise of the mind, a sizzle in wine, a buzz hum as the blue ghost appeared. Like a crystalline matrix where opposition grates, a friction like love-hate endeared. The sensation numbing like dull sensual pounding, a rigidness in the front of the mind. What darkened measure of insurmountable pleasure, sense lost of direction and time. What story tonight to speed on the night for an audience immobile like rock? Fast in the field, what will did they yield, their minds entrapped, seized up tight like a lock? The stories unfold and whispers are told, inescapable sensual caress, but to ignore the bringer of yore, no chance and with no room to guess. Within mountain wold, Ramadoa, I'm told, had regents renowned and redundant, but one ancient queen, fair Lindia, had been, last of such lineage abundant. Of sweetness and virtue, no will for to hurt, radiant fair like an iris. When tread upon frowned, not long to be down, arose fast on the quick but spry blitheness. A wing from the ashes when notions were dashed, with the hope of a richness so thick. A light with an ire twould span stoutest mire, what feast prepared long and are quick. What plots for to smash, what fiends for to dash, abominations what minds were to hatch. What woes for the day to be held at bay, with the wit few of deviousness could match. Her men were quite tall, in virtue not small, compassionate fierceness the standard. Fight heart and love harder, and thought be much smarter than thine enemy and all of their kindred. The queen was pursued by various suitors, all of a worthiness and stature, who dazzled with niceties and pandered refinery for conquest, then she would not matter. Her will for to break comes easier with age, resisted she did all but one. Tailored for her, rest be assured, was Tomney's one ill-begot son. In a man's form did he but have the queen, what charms that she could not resist. Impaled by his mire, overcome with desire, his handsomeness would not desist.